Are you feeling constantly fatigued, foggy, and frustrated? Today, we dive into Lena's journey, a vivacious high school athlete, suddenly gripped by an overwhelming fatigue, her world starting to blur and her dreams beginning to fray. This narrative unveils the dramatic impact of this seemingly harmless nutrient deficiency on a young life brimming with potential. Join us as we traverse the twists and turns of Lena's battle, uncovering the shocking realities of vitamin B12 deficiency. Welcome to Diagnostic Diaries. If you're passionate about understanding health conditions, deciphering symptoms, and unraveling medical tests, then you've come to the right place. Nestled in the heart of a quaint and idyllic town in Wisconsin, the life of 17-year-old Lena was taking an unexpected and frightening turn. Barely out of childhood and standing on the cusp of adulthood, Lena was a charismatic high school senior brimming with potential. In the sprawling constellation of her life, she was the brightest star. A dedicated scholar and a celebrated athlete, her light touching all those around her. But the year 2017 brought along an ominous cloud that began to dim her luster. Lena was plagued with an overwhelming fatigue, one that was profound and unrelenting. The world around her began to blur, the vibrant hues of her life washing away into a monotonous gray. Her once stellar academic performance began to wane, the gravity of her situation pulling down her grades and shrouding her future in uncertainty. It wasn't just her grades that were affected. Lena's athletic performance, once the pride of her school, began to falter too. Her running times increased, her agility on the soccer field declined, and she could no longer keep up with her teammates during practice. She felt as if she was losing herself piece by piece, her world slowly unraveling. Adding to this debilitating fatigue were a slew of other symptoms. Lena began to grapple with frequent bouts of confusion and forgetfulness, which were particularly pronounced during her classes. She found it increasingly difficult to concentrate on her teachers' lectures, her school assignments, or even the novels she once loved to read. Her grades began to reflect her struggles, and her teachers, unaware of her health problems, attributed it to a lack of effort. Lena's journey towards unraveling the mystery of her declining health began with a visit to her primary care physician. With an unsettling solemnity etched on his face, the physician pored over Lena's blood test results. Her hemoglobin levels were slightly askew, lower than average, but not alarmingly so. His conclusion, disappointingly dismissive, attributed her debilitating fatigue to stress, possibly linked to the looming prospect of graduation. Lena's mother, following the physician's lead, connected the dots between her daughter's taxing academic commitments and her fading vitality. Her deteriorating health didn't stop there. Lena found herself battling inexplicable bouts of depression, the world often seeming too heavy for her young shoulders. She began to retreat into herself, her usual lively chatter replaced by silence. She also started suffering from recurrent mouth ulcers and blurry vision, further compounding her discomfort and distress. With college applications on the horizon and her dreams of joining a reputable university becoming more elusive by the day, Lena knew she had to seek help. She returned to her primary care physician, this time with an undeniable array of symptoms that painted a concerning picture. Thus began a daunting maze of diagnostic tests, including a comprehensive MRI scan of Lena's brain and spine. Shadows of abnormalities lurked within the clinical black and white images, cryptic and indecipherable. The neurologist, trained in interpreting these cryptic images, was faced with a dilemma. His initial suspicion veered towards multiple sclerosis, an autoimmune disease often associated with similar symptoms. Lena was put on a therapeutic course of steroids, but her condition remained stubbornly unchanged, further confounding the specialists. Faced with a baffling medical conundrum, the neurologist reached out to a hematologist for an alternative perspective. The hematologist dove headfirst into the deep sea of Lena's blood profile, seeking elusive clues that had thus far escaped the medical gaze. Her diligence bore fruit when she unearthed a startling anomaly. Lena's vitamin B12 levels were alarmingly low. The diagnosis finally crystallized: pernicious anemia, a silent but debilitating condition marked by the body's inability to absorb adequate vitamin B12. Unfortunately, Lena's diagnosis came too late to salvage her final year of high school. Her failing grades and her inability to participate in extracurricular activities led to the painful decision of redoing her senior year. She also had to defer her college applications, a bitter pill to swallow. The unveiling of this diagnosis brought a rush of mixed emotions. Lena's mother was swept by a wave of guilt for not heeding her daughter's symptoms earlier. Lena's father, despite being miles away, was engulfed in a whirlpool of frustration over the delayed diagnosis, but young Emily, who had been silently observing her sister's plight with wide, worried eyes, sighed in relief. The faceless monster tormenting Lena finally had a name. She embarked on a strict regimen of vitamin B12 injections. As the weeks passed, she started regaining her vitality. Her mind became sharper, the depressive episodes lessened, and her physical strength improved. Her mouth ulcers healed and her vision cleared. Although she had lost a year, she was grateful for the journey because it had given her a new appreciation for her health. Lena's story serves as a stark reminder of the importance of paying close attention to our bodies. Casting a light on Lena's journey, several key symptoms manifested: persistent, unrelenting fatigue, an inexplicable forgetfulness, and an encroaching depression were among the first signs. She also struggled with physical weakness, recurrent mouth ulcers, and an increasingly blurry vision, all adding to her discomfort and distress. Yet, the tapestry of vitamin B12 deficiency symptoms is vast and varied. Some individuals might grapple with difficulties in maintaining balance, a disturbed sense of touch, or an abnormal shortness of breath. Changes in mental health are also not uncommon, with mood swings, irritability, or an intense feeling of apathy potentially signaling a deficiency. The path towards diagnosing vitamin B12 deficiency is often paved with a series of laboratory tests and diagnostic imaging. A complete blood count forms the basis, offering an initial glimpse into the patient's health status. Measuring serum vitamin B12 levels is the most direct approach, and in Lena's case, these were found to be alarmingly low. Normal values usually range from about 200 to 900 picograms per milliliter. However, these may vary slightly depending on the laboratory's reference range. In more complex cases, additional tests, such as measuring methylmalonic acid and homocysteine levels, might be deemed necessary. These substances tend to increase in the body when cells don't have enough vitamin B12. In Lena's instance, the confluence of her symptoms and the startling anomaly in her vitamin B12 levels painted a conclusive picture of her condition. Navigating the labyrinth of vitamin B12 deficiency can be a daunting journey, but with the right resources, it's a battle that can be won. For those seeking to ensure their vitamin B12 levels remain optimal, supplements are available for purchase. You can find a link in the description to access these. However, it's crucial to remember that the narratives we share, while inspired by real-life patient experiences, should never be used as a substitute for professional medical advice. If you suspect you might be dealing with vitamin B12 deficiency or any other health condition, the importance of consulting a healthcare practitioner cannot be stressed enough. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Diagnostic Diaries. If you found the content valuable, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated with our future content. Leave your thoughts in the comments and share this video. Until next time, stay informed and healthy.